Well, it's bulls and blood. It's the dust and mud. It's the roar of a Sunday crowd. It's the white in his knuckles, the gold in his buckle. He'll win the next go-round. Welcome to the scorching arena of fire and valor. Forged in the Fires explores tales of resilience, bravery, and the unyielding spirit. It's what we do. And today we've got something special for you. This is the PBR, Professional Bull Riders Edition, Behind the Bull. Interviews from the PBR, Professional Bull Riders Series. We'll hear from riders, owners, coaches, bullfighters, hell, maybe a bull or two. Struggles are required in order to survive in life, because in order to stand up, you gotta know what it's like to fall down. From Forged in the Fires, this is Behind the Bull. And as always, here's your host, Fireman Rob.
All right, welcome back to Forged in the Fires podcast. I'm your host, Fireman Rob. Today, I have another gentleman. He's so smart because his first name is Robert, same as mine. You know, it's so great to have you on today, Robert.
Good to be here, and I appreciate you having me.
You know, we're here. We're in Fort Worth. We go to Arlington, tomorrow, in essence.
Correct.
I want you to talk to me more about what this weekend means to the PBR and what it means to, in essence, the ride, not only the riders, but the fans. Man, the fans are unbelievable. What does this weekend mean for them?
You know, it's an adjustment. This year we, reformatted the progression of the World Finals, and before it was 2 weekends at Dickies Arena, and a lot of long rounds and a short go, and it is truly we tore it apart, put it back together, and came up with a format where we still took the top 45 guys in the world to qualify to come here, and then over the first weekend the top 15 in the world moved on, and then the 5 in the event moved on. So those 25 guys on the bottom looking in, one, we didn't want to just totally discard them,
right?
So the Ride for Redemption last night and tonight, it was a format, Rob, where we took it where we want these guys to ride bulls. We want them to, it's a marathon.
Yeah.
You've ride those first 4. If you not good enough, if you're not fortunate enough to be high enough in the standings or top 5, you can still compete in the World Finals at these redemption rounds. So it's ride 2 more, take the top 5 into Saturday, Sunday. And so that's, the 25 guys, the ultimate goal is the 25 guys that's going to AT&T Saturday, Sunday they're the cream of the crop. Right,
they're
the
worked
hottest going, and a guy can get hot. Even if they're sitting number 38 in the world, doesn't mean that they're necessarily 38 in the world. They just might have run into a couple months of bad luck or got hurt or whatever. So we want to make sure that we gave everybody the opportunity to get on those first 4 bulls, and then ride your way into AT&T where the big money's at, the big stage.
Yes.
And have an opportunity to work $550,000. I mean, if a guy goes in there and wins every round in the average, they're going to walk away with over $500,000.
See, I love the way you said we tore it down. I mean, that's not easy to just walk into a meeting and say, you know what, guys, here's what we're going to do, because everybody's got to look and go, why? What was the premise behind that? It sounds like opportunity, giving people that opportunity to have their moment in the sun. Correct.
And, it was a deal where, when I think we had 7 or 8 long rounds in years past, that's a lot of bulls over the course of time. Well, that really doesn't churn out, the top guys.
Right.
The top guys are the top guys in the world going into the World Finals because they've had the best regular season.
Yeah.
And touche. And they deserved it. They earned it. But yet, we wanted guys to, be able to showcase their skills and, put it on display, and then have an opportunity to, advance rapidly. The points are huge. And so a guy can come from back in the field and actually be, relevant in a world race.
I love that, the feeling of having these guys be able to see, like, I could have a terrible year, but I have potential. What do you see in all these riders that really people can translate into their lives. Cause I think it's such a unique group of individuals.
Yeah. Yeah. Translating into normal life it's the same thing as somebody going to a 9-to-5 job and trying to work their way to the top. And, performance is in the pudding or whatever that.
I like that.
The cliche is, if you do your job, you ride your bulls, everything else will work out.
Yeah.
And it's the same way in life. It's that translation of, you go to work every day, you do a hell of a job, and guess what? You're going to get promoted. You're going to move up. You're going to get, everything that you want. So it's the same concept. We want guys to ride bulls.
Yeah.
And they're hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
Right. If everybody could do it, they would do it. Yeah. It's hard to ride bulls. And so this format brings out the guys that can ride bulls. And that was kind of our thinking, going way back to tear it down was, we want these guys to cover as many bulls for our fans and make our sport even better and showcase their talent, instead of giving them 8 long rounds, where
that's so true.
It's just different.
What do you think, when people look at this from the outside and they don't understand bull riding and they like 8 seconds, that's it. I love the translation of every single second, every single moment that matters in life, and watching these rounds and watching people get to 7.5 and trying to hold on to the rope, trying to hold on. What is, gosh, it's almost so hard to find the mindset. Like when you first got into this, what was your thought process on that 8 seconds? Because it's such a critical part of this whole thing.
Yeah. Whenever I first got in, I've been in the business a long time. We won't go far back, but to me it was fascinating, right? I mean, why in the hell are these guys doing this, right? But in the grand scope, they're athletes. Yeah. Just like the bulls, they're showcasing. It's no different than a guy on a golf course, that we're watching this weekend with the PGA Championship. That's the cream of the crop. That's the best of the best, and that part drew me to it. It was. I'm getting to see, the best in the world. Yeah. And I get to, conduct my business around that model, and promote, the sponsorship, marketing side, all of the stuff that goes into bull riding that is besides the sport, it all lends to that. It's still bull riding at the end of the day, and it's still dangerous, and it's still, very exciting. And to watch these guys, to learn their personalities, that's all cream on the top of the cake. But, just to see what they do week in, week out is amazing.
And I love that you mentioned the bulls, because the athletes, I would love to figure out their mindset, because it's almost when they're in the chute, that as soon as they come out of it, that they know their job. They know what they're going for. They're going for a title too.
Correct.
And tell me more about that side of bull riding, because it's people don't know. People don't understand it.
Correct.
Tell me more about that side.
The bull the bulls on the side, they're kings. They really are. And actually, contrary, I kind of like it when people question us on the livestock side, because we actually get a chance and an opportunity to set the record straight. That, these bulls are bred to buck. And I always use an analogy like the Quarter Horse Association or thoroughbreds.
Yeah,
they are programs to breed and buck these bulls, and that's what they do. That's their job. And when they do their job, they are kings. We treat them not quite with rubber stall mats and and all that, but still they're eating a healthy diet. They're getting exercise. They're cared for. They're pets. Yeah. The owners. I can go to every stock contractor we have, and they're their pets.
Yeah.
And so the people out there dispelling rumors and myths and all this stuff that that we're hurting the bulls I just love the opportunity to set the record straight.
Right.
And so and we battle it all the time, because people are they read something, they hear something, and it's wrong.
Right.
There is a ton of fake news out there, and we love to to make sure that people understand what it's really like. And the bulls, they are our stars. Yeah. And why would we ever want to hurt our stars? So it doesn't make any sense.
There's always people that are not going to understand. Right. And I think when you come to one of these events, you see the passion, you see the resilience, you see all of these things that make up a great human and a great animal.
Yep.
And a great it's not even a show. It's a competition. It's a challenge. And you see this, the struggles and everything. When you look at it as a whole and you get done with the weekend, and I know you're probably exhausted after every single weekend. I can only imagine. What is it that you want the fan to take away from that moment?
That they just witnessed something special.
Yeah.
And most of the time, our fans walk out of the arena saying, that was super cool.
Yeah.
And that's what we want. We want them, and we always market it. There's cliche marketing that, edge of your seat and, never a dull moment and all that good stuff. But it's really true with our sport. And it's, when I go on interviews and I talk across the country in different markets that we go to. My whole thing since I've been doing this a long time, we're not going into that.
Is it before microphones were invented?
No, not quite that bad, but
not horse and buggy.
No. But I always say I just got to market to a person one time.
Yeah,
is I got to get the message to them, and so they show up, they watch the live event, and guess what? I don't have to market to them ever again because they thought that was the coolest thing, and they will be back next year. They'll bring 3 friends next year. And so, it just rolls on that. And that's how PBR has become so successful over the years, is that the product is so good. It really is. It's, we don't have many disgruntled, customers.
Yeah.
So when they walk out of the building and they say, man, I just witnessed something special. That was the cool, that's what we want.
My favorite part is you see these superhuman animals. You see these superhuman people that are doing stuff that you would never think possible. And then you see them fail. And then you see them get back up and do it over and over again.
Right.
That philosophy, how do you translate that from, because that's one that you don't see a lot in many sports, that to get up from getting bucked down on a bull. I mean, I have a photo of a guy about 15 feet up.
Yep.
and they get up time and time again. What is that mentality of these riders that translates to the fans, to the kids, to the parents, that is so valuable to the PBR, even beyond all the other things that you do?
Yeah. It is the, call it will, call it gumption, guts, whatever you want to call it. I mean, when we see it week in, week out, that guy does get bucked off. And there's a guy that gets bucked off a bull, like, man, he should have rode that bull. And then he covers a bull that you're like, how in the hell did he cover that bull? And it's just, it is amazing. Every week, there's something always different.
Yeah.
And, the gumption of our guys, it is what sets them apart.
Yeah.
Anybody can go out there, strap a rope on a bull and, nod their head and hit the ground. But it's the getting back up and doing it again and again until you hone your craft, just like any other professional athlete, that you get that zone that, man, you've made it. And so, I love to see the progression of guys. We have a great system within the PBR to, cultivate bull riders from stage 1 to stage 2 to the ultimate stage.
Yeah.
And so that progression has worked through the years. And so, I like to say we do build bull riders in the PBR.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, anybody can go kind of get on, bulls anywhere.
Yeah.
But the caliber of bulls that we have are different.
There's some big boys.
And just athletic.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, jumping 6-7 foot off the ground.
It's unreal.
Yeah. And so, it is a different level. It
Yeah.
is a way, some county fair down the road, which is great, right?
Yep.
Every county fair is awesome. But those bulls that people see there are not the bulls they see here.
Right.
There is a distinct difference.
Oh, by far. Now, if you had to sum up for people to kind of take away the message of what the PBR is all about, and whether you've seen it once or you've never seen it at all, give me that final statement of what is the PBR all about.
That's big. I don't know. It's a feeling of being the best there is.
Yeah.
Be it from the rider standpoint, from the bulls standpoint, from the production standpoint, from marketing, from, everything, in its realm. We've grown so much over the last 30 years. And so to go from where we've come from to where we are now, is tremendous. I mean, the story of PBR, the legacy of PBR, it continues to live on and get bigger and bigger. So, I would say the legacy that PBR is leaving just in the sporting world or the Western sports world is big. And so that's what we're all about.
I love it. It's not just a belt buckle. It's a belief in being the best.
That's it.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate you.
All right. We'll talk to you all next time.
Thanks for listening and supporting the Forged in the Fires podcast with Fireman Rob. Remember, don't forget to like and subscribe to this podcast. And please share this episode with a friend or family member. To find out more about Fireman Rob, or if you have a question, go to www.firemanrob.com. Until next time, live your life forged in the fires.